Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Good morning.
There was a bodybuilding show yesterday. Did anybody hear anything about it?
A little bit.
It was just kind of a little one, like a little local show.
I called it.
Only the most significant show in history, I think, up to date.
Disagree.
Sorry, I was out last weekend, guys. I was in LA, out there visiting my wife's family. It was a pretty cool experience. I worked out at the Gold's Gym. I stayed walking distance from it. I stayed in Santa Monica. That place is a zoo.
Yeah. I'm glad to see you came back in one piece.
It was fine. I had a great time. Everything was great, man. Santa Monica is beautiful. Yeah, Santa Monica is beautiful. But anyway, yeah, the Olympia yesterday, there was a couple things going on. I mean, I'm not surprised at the results, but I thought Samson was going to be better this year. But
I can tell you my predictions were way off when I look at them now. You know, I was definitely most surprised with Samson out of everything when I kind of step back and take a look at it. You know, to see him fall so far was surprising. I just didn't expect that from him, you know.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you, like, I thought for sure Nick Walker would be in the top 3 after the way he looked at the New York Pro and the Pittsburgh, but every show's different.
Well, and it's seeing them in the lineup makes such a difference. Like, everybody looks great when they're standing by themselves, but when you see people next to each other is when you start to see those differences.
When you're an Instagram Mr. Olympia. I mean, Nick looked like he played the size game, and some of the other guys played the condition game. It's almost better just been prepping people this year just to play conservative, just kind of bring it in middle of the road. I honestly kind of liked Samson's look this year. I know a lot of people didn't. I thought he came in tighter. He looked better, but he did lose a lot of his fullness. It looks like he did diet off some of his muscle.
Yeah, and it was noticeable.
Yeah, and he seems like a guy that I don't know anything about him personally. He seems like a super nice, super kind guy. But to me, he strikes me as the kind of guy that would let the fans get into his head. Yeah. You know, seeing his reaction to stuff sometimes, and he probably heard all the people saying that he needed to be more conditioned, and really sizes his game. And I think people forget that ultimately bodybuilding is about who looks the best. It's not necessarily a who's the leanest contest.
Yeah.
Well, he has let his fans in his head in the past, and it led to him like firing his coach and moving on with his wife, which remains to be seen whether or not that was a solid decision considering he won the Olympia the first year that she coached him. But saying he needs a new set of bed sheets at this point is kind of an understatement. I mean, he was just really underwhelming. Like Dave was saying, if you saw him in person, he always overcomes his lack of conditioning with the incredible size and the fullness of his beautiful, round, perfectly shaped muscles. And none of that fullness was there. It was kind of sad. I don't think he would have been top 4 if he wasn't Mr. Olympia last year, honestly.
Yeah, you were there. I mean, it's hard. I don't think people truly understand how hard it is to tell from pictures and from the video feed. I wasn't there this year, so I couldn't give you a solid answer, but I mean, hearing that from you, Mike, that strikes me. So it was apparent.
Yeah.
You thought, yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, he looks smaller.
I went to the meet the athletes on Thursday night, and I saw him, and I'm like, oh man, he doesn't look good. And obviously, I mean, my assessment isn't always accurate, because I looked at Derek and thought, oh my God, because he looked pretty bad. And I'm like, this guy's had to fight hard to get through this prep. I mean, he might not show up like we used to seeing him show up, but and he admitted after receiving the award that he had some health problems this week, and they changed the order of when she went on stage because he was sick. And,
yeah, that's why they delayed the start yesterday, was because he was not feeling well.
Well, you know what?
Some Paul Bartlett going on. Paul Barnett, sorry.
Yeah. Right before a show translates into you fucked up the diuretic protocol, and you got an electrolyte imbalance, and you're sick and puking and shitting yourself. That's what that means. Cramping up. That's what bodybuilding sick is before. I always love when I hear guys say, "Oh, I had a stomach bug before a show," and I'm like, "Did you?"
I think that picture that you just had up, Paul, I think something that's really interesting this year is that Samson was really exposed by how good Andrew came in. He didn't have the size game, like that imposing height, that stature, because he was up against a guy that was just as tall as him. So I think that really exposed a lot of his shortcomings, because he was standing next to someone who was equal in stature to him, and that person looked better.
Andrew came in.
I think Andrew could have got. I think he should have. Could have even gotten second above Hadi.
What always costs Andrew is his posing. His posing's terrible.
It was better than it ever has been, but it does still need some work. But man, it was much better. So was Martin's. I was actually so impressed with how composed Martin stayed. He didn't start sweating profusely like we've seen him do in the past. And even though he wasn't placing quite as high as he did last year, like he kept his composure. He stayed calm. And like, I think that really, he was rewarded then with fifth.
I think Martin should have been fourth again.
I was going to say, I think he could have been fourth, but that's just my bias.
Yeah.
Did I dream this, or did I see Andrew make the wrong quarter turn in prejudging again?
He always does. He does that every single time. That's like his thing. Like I don't think it's on purpose. Like that's what he does.
Signature move, yo.
No, he always goes the opposite direction.
Line. Yeah,
I'm sure the judges love that. I'm sure the judges love that. I'm sure that pisses the judges off. That's not helping his placing.
No, and like I said, it's like he thinks that's like his move. Like it's like in high school, like that's his move, but like nobody likes it.
I'm swagging, baby.
It's like coming out in the first play of the football game and being offsides on purpose.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, man, look at me.
They call your number. What?
Yeah.
I would do that. Absolutely.
Well, the fans liked it. When he got out of line and was hyping everybody up, and everybody's going nuts and chanting his name, and they're like, "Get back in line, Andrew."
He's got an amazing physique. He's got all the tools to be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
It's probably one of his best, probably the best peak I've seen him have too. He was just had an improvement on all areas. He's always massively full in his structure, and shape's always impressive, but with the conditioning, the fullness, a little bit of improvement on the posing. And then you couple that with some of these other guys that are in that top 5 having some percentage of something off. Like even when you look at Samson, put aside the fact that he was undersized, he still looked like he had a little bit of a washout on his belly. When
it was like Eddie Arnold too. Like he had that washed out core. So weird.
And I kind of was curious on some of the times when he poses it's almost amplified by the posing, the way he pushes his stomach forward. I don't know if that's just me, but I see that a lot in the posing too, I think that's part of the problem.
He might be a guy that would be better served with crunching down on his abs. There's really kind of 2 ways you can present on that front pose, and that's to either crunch down or do or you can be relaxed, well, really three, be relaxed or do a vacuum, and you kind of got to figure out which one you look the best
Yeah.
at. Most of the men's physique guys, if you look at them, or class, men's physique, they crunch down on abs. The classic guys pull vacuums, and then now it seems like a lot of the open guys are trying to pull vacuums.
Yeah.
But really, Chris Aceto, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yep. Yeah.
Chris had a good weekend. Both those guys won.
Yeah.
But if you look at the scorecard, there was only one judge difference between Hadi and Derek. So Derek was one judge away from being in second place.
Roman, you're sideways. Oh,
we lost Roman.
when he turned he must have hit the exit button when he turned it.
I'm trying to find a video of Andrew Jack, but there's nothing on the Gilco site.
Yeah. I was, again, to go back to like how people look in the lineup with Nick specifically, there was something about his presentation too. Like he just wasn't projecting that he wanted to be there. Like he was just not giving off like, I want to be here vibes. And I'm sure he was disappointed that he wasn't, in that the first call it with the top, he was clearly not in the top 5, but his posing was just, it just felt like he was just kind of there.
Well, he was in the first call out, and we watched his face change when they moved him to the outside, and he just never recovered from that. Because the guy's incredibly confident, and he just believed that he was going to be top 3 no matter what. And when they moved him to the outside in that first call out, he was just we watched his face change. It was crazy.
Yeah, Andrew's got a great physique.
He really does.
He's so imposing and big.
His posing was better this year than it was, way better than it was at the Arnold.
Yep. Gotta get those pants hiked up, my man.
He does pull a pretty deep V on that back shot.
His conditioning here compared to when he qualified at FIBO is just completely night and day.
Yeah, look at those quads.
Yeah.
Those are crisp.
His back shots are super imposing because he has, big quads, and his overall size is so big. But if you line him up against Hadi and Derek and the detail in his back, I mean, he was definitely third place in every one of those back shots.
Looks like maybe he had a pec tear on that left pec. I don't know. It could be just how he's built. Some guys have got that weird thing where their pec sucks in on the side. I don't know if you can see it here. See the groove there on the side?
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
It's like he's so big, the muscle's got nowhere to go. It just ripples.
Yeah.
Like Phil Heath had,
He's
Would you say,
coming,
Roman?
Phil Heath had that. He looked like he had 2 pec tears.
Yeah.
But just the muscle.
Yeah, some guys are just built that way.
Well, Phil was a little narrow in the shoulders, so that all kind of bunched up and gave that look a bit. But we should ask Roman that. Roman, do you think like the judges with someone like Andrew, they get on stage and they don't show like this massive tenacity, like they're excited to be here? Does that bother the judges as much as maybe the fans, us kind of watching the show? You think that makes a difference in their placing?
I think for some judges, pretty sure, because if they see it compared to other guys that are enthusiastic, it will make a difference, and it definitely makes a difference subconsciously. Because it just, if you look like you're happy to be there, and if you look like you're enjoying yourself, it pulls other people in.
Yeah.
It's like it's like having watermarks on a beautiful car. It's like,
judges are
be shined up a bit.
Right.
Judges,
it's not ChatGPT.
Judges aren't machines. Judges are regular people also. So if the audience notices it, the judges notice it also.
Yeah.
It was really noticeable with Laura Lee's posing. And that was such a good lesson, Roman, like you said, and for me too, like thinking about my own posing coming up, like even in her back pose, when she was in that 6th place, you could just tell, like she just wasn't even trying. Like she was just kind of standing there. And even when her face wasn't visible, you could see that she was just not in it. And I think that's such a good lesson for posing in general, because it's not the physique you have, it's the physique you present that makes the difference. And, you know, that there's that it factor. And I think that's honestly why Maureen won yesterday in bikini, because there's something about that it factor. And maybe even with Ramon too, you know, like, you know, there's these people that just have that kind of it factor.
I think someone like Laura Lee is even more dependent on that, because I think one of the things that made her so great in the past is that she brings that charisma to the stage, you know?
Right. So without that, there's just nothing left.
You can see the scorecards. I mean, it was 8-7 in finals for Derek and Hadi. I mean, Hadi was right there.
Yeah.
And then there was a pretty wide gap between Samson and Andrew Jack. It was 20-15. So there was a pretty big gap there.
And I don't know,
I would
if
have
you
put
can
Brandon
see
above
it.
Nick.
I don't know if you can see it on the live stream or in the video, but you know, Derek outsized Hadi. And, you know, they have very similar height and structure, and you know, Derek was bigger.
Derek's back is just incredible. I mean, that's where he separates himself from people. It's his back shots. I mean, he's got a crazy physique. Love him or hate him, dude's got a crazy physique.
Yeah.
Derek Tom Brady.
The crowd was going nuts for Hadi, and I just couldn't see it. I'm like, there's no way he's beating Derek, you know, and even won the People's Choice Award. So
Yeah, the only thing I noticed really with Hadi is some of his back shots, his legs looked a little smaller than when he's standing from the front. When he stands from the front, they're massive the way he can pose it. But some of the back doubles and back lat spread, Hadi doesn't have as big of a quad sweep. It kind of looks a little smaller, especially standing next to Derek. But other than that, it's hard to. I thought Hadi was pretty on point.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you told me Hadi won, I wouldn't have been surprised. But I thought Derek had him pretty wide margin going into finals, and from what I saw, for me, like this is where he wins. For me, classic. I mean, Ramon was clear winner, I thought, but
he was, yeah. But all you heard about going into the show was Terrence and Mike.
Yeah, well, until like Weightgate happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that really, you could see that in Mike's physique and just in his, I can't imagine the mental aspect of that, you know, just a couple days before show, you have to kind of rework everything and drop a lot of weight. And like, yeah, he could do it, but at what cost? And that was the cost.
Yeah.
The whole way they do the weigh-ins in the IFBB for classic is silly. They should height you when you turn pro, and that's it. That's your weight cap. You can request a reheight at any point and just leave it at that. That way they don't have to fool around with this at every show. Like I can't imagine not knowing what I'm going to be measured out height-wise and have to change like an 8-pound swing going into the day of the show. It's going to be incredibly frustrating. It's got to be a better way of doing it. Like if you're 5'10" when you turn pro, you're 5'10" forever. I mean, just call it what it is. You do heavy enough squats, you might be 5'9" by the time you're 40. But
I know I've lost about 3/4 of an inch.
I used to be 6'3", man.
Yeah.
I'm under 6'2" now.
Yeah, that must have been pretty rough for Mike Sommerfeld, though, because I watch his YouTube and his preparation. He's already eating next to nothing, double session cardio, double session training. It's like I don't know how you really turn the heat up after that, you know, to drop that extra weight to make it.
You literally turn the heat up and sweat it off.
Do you think Mike makes a division change, Roman, or is he sticking in classic?
I think he needs a lot of muscle to make a division change.
Yeah.
Because compare the top 5 of the Classic. Take a picture of the top 5 or the top 4 comparison in Classic, and then put it next to the third call out comparison of the Open.
Yeah.
And then
There's a
look,
big size difference.
look, the size difference is incredible. It's like people, when they see Mike by himself, they say, oh, he could so easily do the Open. It's like, no, the size difference is maybe in the front double bicep, he could do the Open. But as soon as he turns, it'll be like this. It's like turning a piece of paper. It takes up a lot of space when you look at it from the front, but the thickness the Open guys have compared to the Classic guys is you can only see it when you actually see it.
Yeah.
Not in pictures, but in videos, or even better when you're there in person. The size difference is tremendous. And then some people can pull it off, like Chris Bumstead when he fills out, but he is the best one in that class. You know?
Yeah. Well, that brings up, what do you guys think about how Urs did?
I was supposed to say, Urs, I think, showed everybody that moving from Classic to Open is not that easy. I mean, he was probably the smallest guy on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I think he seems like he has a frame for Open, though. He just needs to get a little bit bigger.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
I thought for his first outing, I thought he looked great. I thought he looked really great. Man, Ramon Dino, God damn it, that guy's crazy.
I have a question for all of you.
Yeah.
Shoot.
If you can remember how Urs looked last year in the Open, in the Classic last year, and then put last year's Urs and this year's Olympia in the Classic, he probably would have won.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm not saying it was I'm still completely on his side for his decision going to the Open. It was definitely the right decision. I thought he was supposed to go to the Open 2 years ago, right? But maybe if he had stayed in the Classic for another 8 weeks or so, he would have won probably.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Roman. I think his physique last year and this year's lineup would probably have won because he also has the presentation.
Yes.
I don't know. Ramon was pretty tough.
I was gonna say Ramon was really on, man. He had this. He has a just beautiful shape, Bumstead-esque sort of shape, and just a fullness and roundness to his, very pretty shaped muscles. He was hard to beat.
He sat right next to me last year at the Arnold in the finals. He's not that big of a guy when you see him up close. He just looks great.
Urs is pretty big up close.
Yeah.
Oh, and right behind him is Josema, who looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
but man, this is a crisp look. I don't know how you can look much better than this.
Mm-hmm. And I think he found a way to make improvements on his quad sweep and some of the width of his back, because he looks a little wider, Ramon. And my first thing wasn't drawn to his arms and his shoulders. I was actually looking at the whole package. I think he made improvements in all the right areas in a year's time, in my opinion.
He probably didn't train any arms.
That's quite possible, yeah. Yeah, because usually he's one of those guys that's the first thing your eyes go to is just the size of the arms on such a small waist. And I always thought he had a little bit of narrowness to his back, in my opinion. So it looks like he made some pretty good improvements, and that's what put him ahead.
And I was impressed.
Crazy.
I was impressed with Shaun Clarida. I didn't think he was going to be battling it out with Keon. I mean, Keon was better, but I mean, it wasn't by a lot.
No, Shaun looked amazing.
He looked way better than 2023 and last year.
I know John Jewett coached him this year. Whatever they did worked.
He made big improvements.
His lats were crazy. Like he really brought up his width.
Mm.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And that the detail too. His
Yeah.
back, incredible.
Yeah.
But he's always had that.
I saw a side by side between last year and this year, and he definitely brought up his back.
Did you hear?
It's got a freak physique. What were you saying, Dave?
I was going to say, did you hear? I don't know if you heard Shaun Ray talking about this matchup after the prejudging, but anyways, Shaun Ray goes. I think it was probably the best thing is that Shaun Clarida lost the key on it, or light a fire under him to kind of apply himself a little bit more. I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't know a more motivated person than Shaun Clarida. I've literally been in destination while he is training, and that guy, you don't even want to be 5 feet from him and bite your fingers off. You know, it's just, I couldn't believe he said that. It's like,
I mean,
I don't think
Shaun Ray always has the hot takes.
Yeah. Well, there's no
I don't
take
know
to
that
it.
you can
Completely
put any more
false.
size on that little. What is he, 5'2"? I mean, he's like, you can't put any more weight on the guy.
He's got some tiny little calves, though. Nobody has calves. Not that matters.
No, he does a good job. Kept his waist real tight. You know,
Looks like how was the lighting, Mike? That was like my big complaint last year. It looked like it was better this year.
It was a little better, and I don't know if that was from the background or what, but it was a little better. It was still a little distracting to have so much going on the behind the performers with all the video and everything. And then every once in a while you get randomly blinded by a spotlight.
Yeah. Were they still yelling at people for taking pictures?
No, I don't think anybody got yelled at for taking pictures. Well, at least not where I was sitting. Not with their cell phone cameras. So
yeah, last year they were telling people no cell phones, which there was basically a mutiny in the crowd over that. I think they backed off that one.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have live streamed it if I had the bandwidth. Would have went live on Instagram.
Yeah, Natalia looked great too. God damn it. And then, Andrea Shaw, touched on some of the women. Andrea Shaw, I mean, I thought she was retiring after last year. But
I thought so too. Yeah. Oh, I thought Lola had it in figure. Oh, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, just top quality competitor. The only one I thought was a little questionable was the men's physique. I thought, I was looking at the pictures, I'm like, they gave Ryan Terry the win over Ali. Like that kind of shocked me.
I would agree. I think Ali's physique looked better, but they just love Ryan Terry and his pretty ass.
He's got a great smile. I'll say that. Looked like I'm trying to find a picture. He looked like he had some pretty bad diastasis, which seems to be an issue with a lot of guys as they progress. I'm trying to find. Here it is.
You talking about Keon?
No, Ryan Terry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can when he's flexed, you can't see it as much, but you see it there in the middle.
Yeah.
It seems to pull together when he's flexed, but I really liked Ali's physique compared to his.
I feel so bad. This is the one category I just literally don't follow at all. I mean, they look great. I know none of them.
In 2017, I worked a little bit for a German bodybuilding media company. They flew me out to the Olympia to film and interview athletes. Mm-hmm. And then they told me, yeah, over there, Ryan Terry, interview Ryan Terry. I'm like, who? Ryan Terry. And then I went.
We lost you.
Ramon.
Then I went.
The area I don't know anything about is your area, Amy. Bikini. I don't know the first
Oh.
fucking thing. I
Man,
couldn't
it was
tell
a
you
shakeup.
who, I couldn't tell you who any of these ladies are. They all look amazing to me. I don't know how they decide who wins.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting lineup. I don't think anybody had Ashlyn and Jazzy placing second and third. I had Ashlyn, I think when I did my predictions, I think I had her in third. I had Amy in fourth, but man, Amy looked amazing yesterday. I don't agree with Maureen winning. I think she's beautiful, but she's just, especially with Fit Model now, I think she's way too close to what they're saying Fit Model should look like in her presentation. She lets her glutes drop. Like it just, yeah, there's Laura Lee. She came in sixth. Her suit was beautiful. I loved the lilac, but it was not her day.
And I think you're right, Amy. Like her physique was everything that you would expect from her, but she did not present it on stage with the same verve that she normally does.
No, and I thought I would have been happy with Ashlyn or Jazzy taking it for sure. I was a little disappointed that Vanya didn't come in better. Vanya, and this is when you see Vanya in the lineup, especially in that lineup, her size really was notable because she is so tiny. Like she is just a very small person. And she got just outsized, by everybody. She was outsized. Whereas on the Arnold stage, that didn't show as much. But yesterday it really did. And, especially with like Ashley bringing up her upper body a lot this year. Am I echoing to you guys? I feel like I'm echoing to myself.
I'm getting echo on somebody's. I don't know if it's Josh's. Let's see. I'm going to meet you for a second, Josh, and see if it's there.
See if it's still there.
It's still there.
Sounds like it sounds better.
Or maybe it is. Yeah, I think it was Josh. If you just turn down your volume, usually you have to wear headphones to keep it from happening.
Yeah, but ultimately it'll be interesting to see, and I'm really interested to see how things start shaping up with Bikini and Fit Model, because next year at the Olympia we'll have Fit Model, and to me, Maureen looks very much like what they are saying they want for Fit Model, and not at all what they have been rewarding in Bikini. I mean, even in looking at Maureen and Ashley and Jazzy, you just take that top three. One of these things is not like the other, and it's Maureen. Even in the whole top six, she's the one that stands out as being much different. So I don't know. It seemed like a very odd choice, especially given the fact that they're bringing in Fit Model to the Olympia. If they weren't bringing Fit Model to the Olympia, I would feel differently about it. But because they are, I don't know.
I think it
seemed like an interesting call.
I think it was Roman we're getting the noise from.
Yeah.
But
I had Lola winning. What did you get, Dave? I know since Jackie does figure, what did you guys think of the figure division?
Well, Lola is definitely Jackie's personal favorite, but I think the reality is the Rhea gal, or however you say her name, it's just the structure. I mean, it's just she has this. And I'm not taking anything away from any bodybuilder that's got some sort of a gift, but it's a gift, that structure that girl has. It's the smallest waist with the biggest taper. Just the way that she kind of walks too. Like I like the way that her posture is. Everything's pretty ideal. So I don't think they were going for like crazy conditioning in the figure category or like, the most muscular girl. It was really just kind of shape first. And I think Sydney, who was dominating for so long, is still the look they're going for, the shape and the prettiness to the whole package more than conditioning or size. So I think that's where she won. And I think Lola is just sometimes a little up and down. She's pretty straight and narrow. I think it worked against her a little bit.
Yeah, she is a little narrow. I thought for Missy coming in 10th for her first time being in the figure division, I thought was great. I'm sure she's disappointed, but still, I mean, placing in the top 10 in your first Olympia in a division is pretty good.
Well, that girl Denise, all the way to the left, the blonde, she was just super impressive. I think this is her debut, 4th place. I think she just turned pro maybe a year ago, and she's
really?
Yeah, she's a monster. That girl.
She's statuesque, like just so stunning. Yep, she had a definite presence.
Yeah, Denise Zwiger, I think is her name. But she's
the German girl.
Yeah. proportionately, she's one it's the opposite. It's not, I mean, great structure, but just huge body parts with shoulders, great legs, and tight waist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, Roman, if you can hear us, I'm gonna have to mute you, man.
I know.
Feedback. Maybe try logging on and logging back off. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think there's any surprises with the figure, though. I wasn't really shocked the way they went, I guess, is the best way I can answer it.
Yeah. I do think it's good, though, that, like you said, Dave, they really were rewarding the shape. And that's what makes the figure division so unique, is that beautiful shape. And it's a genetic gift in most cases to be able to, that bone structure is a lot of it. And I think, like you said, that's where Lola, she can look a little up and down because her hips are so narrow. Even though she has beautiful detail, if she's not posing just right, she can look a little straight and not curvy. She kind of loses that X frame that they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's in the name. It's figure. I mean, they're starting off with your silhouette and how you can improve on it and, really peak it. So,
yeah. I was impressed with, it used to be Megan Santa Barbara, but she's gotten married. So I think it's Megan Moore something now. She was a new addition to the women's physique division this season. And she had actually considered doing wellness. And I'm glad she didn't, because she looked beautiful in the lineup and did so well, especially for her first season in WPD. Just really crushed it. She looked beautiful.
Right.
And I tell you who I was impressed with is the dude I saw win at Tampa in Classic, Nas. That dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That dude
Niall,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That waist doesn't even seem real. It's so tiny.
This is a crazy physique.
Well, go ahead, Paul.
I feel like a jackass when I was there at the. So if his family's listening to me, this is my public apology. But when I was there at the Tampa, they were in the audience in front of me, and when he was up there in finals, they kept standing up, and I was like, "Sit down, we can't see." And they wouldn't sit down. And I'm like, "Come on, sit down. We can't fucking see." And they're like, that's our son up there. And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't fucking care. Sit down."
So you're okay being a jerk, but the fact that the family's famous now, you're like, maybe I'm sorry.
No, they should have sat down, and I'm sorry. I should have been nicer.
No, it's okay. No, I understand.
I'm trying to be the kinder, gentler Paul.
He does look like a smaller version of Nasser. That's true. That's what I was thinking. I was like, geez.
The problem is we don't even know we come across that way until after the fact. We're like, oh, I sounded a little abrasive when I said that.
Yeah, that was a little jerky. I should have done that.
I want that story, Mike, real quick.
Mike, how was everything at the expo? Like, what was? Oh.
Go ahead.
It was about the same as last year. It bothers my OCD because it's so scattered. It's like you can't really know. There's no systemic way to walk through it, and that really bothers me. So you don't really know where you're at, and I keep finding myself in the same place as I'm walking around. And so and there wasn't as many people there. A lot of people you would expect to have booths who had like huge presence at the Arnold weren't there. I thought for sure that Young LA would be there, considering their 3.5 hour drive from that, and there just wasn't a whole lot of participation from like the people you would expect to in the industry. We did stand in the psycho crowd that was waiting to see Chris Bumstead and Sam Sulik and everybody for Gymshark, and they're throwing out Gymshark t-shirts, and I actually had to break up a fight between a man who's probably my age and should know better and a woman who wouldn't let go of a shirt. I was like, I had to grab the guy and say, look,
well, who did you
it's
punch?
not worth going to jail for. It's a girl. Just let go of the shirt. And he finally let go of the shirt.
Oh, okay.
Just let her have the shirt, dude.
I was like, punch the girl, free shirt, dog.
That's the answer, Josh. Just punch
A
the girl.
sexist would say. Yeah.
Equal rights and left.
Man, I just gotta look at this thing with Ramon again. This is, hang on, I gotta pull this tab up. But this guy, Jesus Christ, man. This was after the show.
His detail is unbelievable.
Now, granted, whoever posted this video, they turned up the contrast and the
Yeah.
sharpness, but still, yeah.
He's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, you can't sharpen what you don't have.
Right.
No. I mean, clearly, he's. I love the dudes that you see that turn up the contrast so bright. You know, like the contrast and the sharpness. And I've been guilty of that a little bit myself, but I mean, you can like you'll see. I like sometimes I see some kids from my gym post pictures, and I'm like, what? You don't look like that at the gym, man. That's that doesn't look like what I see at the gym.
Goon lighting.
The goon lighting, the sharpness and detail turned way up. Contrast, turn the lighting down, you know, the exposure way down.
Well, the new iPhone cameras are so good. You can do so much just right at your fingertips.
Well, there's actually an AI app now out that'll make you bigger, makes you look more muscular.
That's terrible. What's it called?
I'll get it right over to you, Josh. Do we want to take some questions?
Yes, we do have a few questions. Let's start with this one from Abraham. How to bring down C-reactive protein on labs?
Well, there's Josh would be one to talk about this, but there's many different things that could be causing it.
What's causing your C-reactive protein to be high? How high is it? What antioxidants are you taking? I like to start with turmeric. What else does everybody else like? I take turmeric and NAC, but what else do you guys take? You know,
usually, like here lately, I've been seeing quite a few guys with high. I wouldn't say high, but it would be like 3 in the 3 to 4 range, and a lot of times. I'll talk to Steve about it. I have to wonder about carrier oils and solvents in some of the cheap gear.
Maybe, but almost everybody that I've seen use gel uses MCT. So it's kind of like if they're not filtering extra, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll see that. And I look at a lot of bodybuilding blood work. I do. I look at hundreds of blood panels, and almost everybody coming out of prep has high C-reactive protein. Almost everybody, like there's some, and I think it's just from the stress from the prep, and then it just washes off.
And the drugs.
Yeah, from the starving and the drugs, and then it goes away.
Right.
Yeah.
Although some drugs help you not starve so poorly. You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
I mean, it depends on how high the C-reactive protein is. Like mine was.
Right. You don't want to blow it up, but
mine was crazy high, like I'm talking like 60, 70 at one time. And doctors thought I had cancer, and it turned out that
60 or 70.
He did say 60, right? 5 times 12.
Yeah, 5 times 12. Yeah, it was Lyme disease.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there was something else going on there.
Yeah, it was Lyme's disease, and I had chronic Lyme's disease. I was in and out of the infectious disease specialist and on and off antibiotics and IV antibiotics for 2 years fucking straight, trying to get rid of that shit. But yeah, I mean, there's a bazillion things, but I just say, like, I see quite a few bodybuilders that have transient episodes of increased C-reactive protein. I wouldn't panic if it was up a little bit. If it's consistently high, then you might want to get some shit checked. But that would be my.
Start with sleep and antioxidants, and then what's causing the C-reactive protein, and how high are we?
Yep.
Can it also be blood pressure related, though? I mean, if you have uncontrolled blood pressure problems.
Yeah, that's going to encourage inflammation. Absolutely. Like there's
step one.
You have uncontrolled high blood pressure. A lot of things are going to start to get really far off.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on PEDs, that's like the easiest lever to pull. Like start tracking your blood pressure.
Blood pressure, uncontrolled blood glucose. It's a bunch of things.
Yeah, Sex Smoothie had a follow-up to that, had a 0.5 CRP on blast and a 1.7 on most recent blood work on a cruise. He was feeling pretty run down from a flu. Could that be it? Yes.
Yep.
Anything that's increasing inflammation in your body can make that go up transiently. Yeah. Okay,
all right.
You guys ready for the next one?
Sure.
This is a good one for all you guys. This is from Cody. He's asking, He says, I know this is weak, but how do you stay focused when you have a non-supportive girlfriend? Can't stress enough how important sleep, training, food, and no stress is key. Guessing his partner is causing him some stress. How
Up
would
the
you guys
dose of
handle
Tren, and she will eventually leave.
that? No, you'll leave her.
No. You'll think she's cheating, and then you'll start cheating on her to get back at her.
Yeah,
More-
and then she'll
1,000
leave you.
milligrams of
Yeah.
Tren will wreck any relationship. Just get it.
You'll
over
start
with.
sleeping with her brother. That's what you'll have. What you'll do.
Yeah,
Titrate
that's-
to effects.
I would
No.
say the suggested protocol would be to titrate off your girlfriend.
Right. Well, how long have you had this girlfriend? How many kids do you guys have? Have you considered counseling? Would she do counseling? Are either one of you candidates for relationships right now?
Well, and it can be tough when you are very focused on a goal and you have a
Mhm.
partner who doesn't necessarily understand that for a variety of reasons. You know, you kind of have to evaluate, do you want to continue at this level of intensity on this path? And are they ever going to come around to that? I mean, being a competitor, do I think it would be easier to be in a relationship with a competitor? Sometimes, but then other times I think it wouldn't be.
Depends on your
But
own
the important
breath.
thing is that person supports your pursuit and that you're also not a complete asshole about it. You know, there's a balance there. But if it's something that's key to your happiness as a human and you're going to continue doing this, then, you know, I think you need to be able to express that openly and give that person a chance to give feedback. Because if they have no problem with your dedication to the sport, but they just think you're being a jerk, well, then, you know, there's a place to start from there. But if they're like, no, I don't support this and I never will, and I think it's stupid what you're doing, well, then there you go. Like there's there's a different answer.
Well, you have a good point, Amy. Cody, are you being an asshole?
Yeah.
And there's that potential.
Yeah.
I mean,
How much trim are you
I've
on
been
right
that
now,
asshole
Cody?
in prep. You know, I look back on that, like I probably ruined a relationship because I was prepping, you know, just because I didn't, you know, wasn't the most available partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like you nailed it. That was actually exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Jackie and I have been together for 15 years. She's a pro bodybuilder. We've been doing this for a while.
Mhm.
And of course, I mean, we're lucky. Sometimes we are very helpful, complimentary towards each other during these processes, but it's, you know, it's life. Nothing's perfect. But I do find myself sometimes when I feel the way Cody's saying, I do stop and check myself too. Like make sure, am I just pushing this off like you're the problem, or can you just audit yourself real quick and then take a minute, take a breath, and like express these things? Like the best way I get through these scenarios with my wife is literally just not holding back, ugly or nicely saying how I feel, what I need out of you, and what can I do to make that easier for you. So yeah, not to get very kumbaya about it, but you should really check yourself sometimes too. I mean, I believe 9 out of 10 times when I feel the way he's talking, I'm actually the problem, to be honest. I mean, everything's fine when we're not in prep, but when you enter a prep, it's usually you that's creating the problems, and it's in your head too. You know, she might be fine, never changed. You're just creating this crap in your head too. You gotta check yourself sometimes and just make sure that's not the case, so you're being fair. You know,
Dave, speak for yourself. I'm never the problem.
hey, there you go.
I joke, but this is really true. It's like one of the side effects of being on PEDs is that in your relationship, you're always wrong.
I will say this: trend or no trend on contest prep, I definitely am snappier with my kids, with my significant other, and
Have you
the
done a prep
dogs.
on Reddit yet?
Not
That's what
yet.
I want to know. Like, is it that much better? Is it worse? You know,
It
Some
seems
guys
like
are
my
really-
guys that are going the non-stem route are just having a lot easier time. Their mood is better. They seem to lose
Sleep.
fat easier, sleep better. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of skeptical of the non-stem stuff this year, and I've had quite a few guys that have gone that route and done pretty well with it.
Yeah.
That was my
Mike, how is it for
experience.
you having like being a competitor and your wife was also in school? Like you guys both had things that could be very stressful at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
But
Well,
nursing
she was real focused on school, and I came to Vegas to train here. So, right now the conversation is if they don't open a gym here pretty quick in Grants Pass, do I want to come back here after the holidays and put a couple months of my off season here? And it's just so hard to be separated from my support group. I miss my
Yeah.
wife. I miss my family. and I was really focused when I was here, but it's a big sacrifice to make. It gets lonely, and I think I'm a better competitor and a better human overall when I get emotional. When I have them behind me,
that's normal.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, it's hard to prep alone. Like I know I've done it both ways. And like, it's you kind of feel like you're on an island anyway when you're in prep. And then when you don't have like a supportive home life, even if your home life is far away, it's not with you. Like, yeah, that's an added challenge and an added stressor for sure.
Yeah. And we've been together 32 years. So even when we're not, good necessarily between her and I, she's still my biggest champion. Always.
Yeah. Why do we choose to do this shit again?
Because we love it.
It's a silly sport.
We've got to pay back our steroid dealers, right? What's the prize?
So another good bit of advice from Vicious Fitness. A lot of times we cannot see ourselves, and it's just a better way to handle situations that aren't ideal from a place of empathy whenever possible. Yes. And I
would agree with that.
Yeah. Although this week, when I was trying to be empathetic and seeing the other side of a man sitting on the leg extension machine for 35 minutes, I was challenged.
Well, there yesterday. That was me.
I'd love to see Amy slap the phone out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, I finally ended up reaching out to Paul because I was like, I'm going to murder this man. Like, I'm going to kill someone in the gym today. Like, today's the day that I kill someone in the gym.
I can confirm Amy's feelings. That guy was an asshole. And some people are.
Yeah.
There are some motherfuckers that just need to be told.
Does your gym only have one leg extension machine? Or does it have like one?
It does. Yes.
That's awful.
That is, in fact, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Every week. I always never get it. That's why the one time I got it, I'm like, 35 minutes, this is mine. I'll share, but I'm doing a bunch of road sets, man.
But I do always try. I always try to, I always say to in general, especially relationships, you never know where someone else is coming from. And I just always assume that everybody is coming from a place of love and, go from there.
You hope, right?
Well, and that's always a solution, right? Like I've snapped at people in the gym, and we've all done it. But at the end of the day, when you just approach everything with kindness and respect, and you just speak your mind and say, hey, look, this is the only leg extension machine in the gym, and you've been sitting here an awful long time. I have a workout to get through. Can we share, or can you maybe come back to this or something? And a lot of times when you come across that way, it's easier to deal with than hey, fuckwad, get off the machine before I slap that phone out of your hand.
I give people 2 shots, and then it's hey, fuckwad. You get the very nice one, then you get the more stern one, and then third time is hey, fuckwad. Let's go.
Yeah.
Usually in an off-season setting, or like right now, like I'm not really like this. What the fuck can I do with training right now? I'll just move on to something else. But if I'm on contest prep, I'll ask nicely, and then if you don't move, then I'm not going to ask not so nicely.
Well, on a stack machine, I see zero reason why someone would not offer to let anyone work in. Like, it's not something where you have to change plates or do anything else. And I'm very tall, and this person is about my same height. So it's not even like we would have had to adjust anything at all on the machine other than the pin. Just the pin.
Yeah, and it might have been a man versus woman thing too.
Maybe he's got booty sweat. He just saved you. You don't know.
Maybe. But
look at the black type,
This woman would be real willing to fight for a machine if I had to. So, yeah. All right.
Well, if you do, make sure there's a camera on, because that will go viral.
Oh yeah, I got my tripod. I'd set it up first. Like, look here, motherfucker.
Okay.
I can't imagine Amy fighting for anything. You're like the sweetest, kindest person I know. I can't imagine that.
That's why it would be so viral if the video was ever got made.
No world
I
star.
promise she's nice. Yeah. All right. Should we move on to the next question?
Yes.
This one actually was for Roman, but he has left. But I think we know the answer to this from Lucas. Roman, are we going to see you in Prague? Are you planning to compete this year? Or are you taking a break? And Roman did actually put this on his Instagram this weekend that he is done for the season. So we'll not be seeing Roman in Prague.
He did compete this year, though.
He did.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, considering he had a hip replacement earlier in the year.
His 4th hip replacement.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, that was a second hip replacement within a year. I mean, that's
I'm over here complaining about my shoulder surgery.
you got to recover from the surgery you had. That's all you can do.
I am actually starting to lift real weights again now, finally.
Moving past the 25s.
Define real.
35s now. I'm off the pink bands
All right.
and on real weights now.
Awesome.
So we're doing like bicep curl. What's our exercise? Are we doing all your exercises? Some of your exercises?
Yeah, I reintroduced about 2 weeks ago. I reintroduced all my exercises, like probably 25% of my pre-surgery weights, and I'm just slowly progressing things up because it's been 6 months. So
Yeah. No,
I'm at the all clear.
No reason to go all in right now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my doctor was like, just that doesn't mean go at it. It's progress things up, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Are you still doing your bodybuilding TRT and regular GH or no GH?
I mean, I haven't done GH in months.
Yeah.
My blood sugar was kind of out of control back early in the year, and I took a break from the GH to let that settle down. And then I've been really pretty much the majority of the year, I've just been running 200 milligrams of test. That's it, man. That's real TRT, I think.
Well, real TRT, right? Yeah, I was saying that. Now that it's prescribed 200 to 400, right? Yeah, you're underdosed, right?
Yeah, 200, and then I just started ramping up a little bit. I'm doing 300 tests and like 150 primo.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
There's no wonder about what what's the training like. What do you think you did wrong and stuff? So I just figured I'd throw some questions out I've thought about myself.
Yeah, I just to me, it doesn't make any sense to take anything more than that right now while I'm still progressing up my 50% effort weights.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't up your steroid dose at all. I'd just re-add GH at a certain point because you said.
Yeah, I will. I just met with my endocrinologist this past week, and my diabetes seems to be back under control.
Did you stay with Retta?
Yeah, I'm on Retta right now, but I may go back to the tirzepatide.
Yeah.
My A1C was a little better on the tirzepatide, which was surprising. I got it down to 5.6 on tirzepatide, which is normal levels, and it creeped back up to around 6.
It's almost pre-diabetes.
Almost, yeah.
It's pretty close. It's depending on where you get your blood done.
Yeah, and I had this really weird type 1.5.
But impressive for you, regardless. Right?
Yeah, so like the doctor told me, she's like, I am on insulin as needed, but like she wants to try to get as much as we can out of the GLP-1s and keep the insulin sensitivity as high as we possibly can to stay off as much exogenous insulin as possible.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do you ever go with your guys for an insulin for like their H1C based on that's how you determine their insulin sensitivity, or do you something else?
I do have them. I have them track glucose levels daily, sort of the canary in the coal mine.
Right.
I'll have them do A1C. A lot of times A1C will be fine, but you'll see triglycerides start to get out of whack. And a lot of times when triglycerides get out of whack, that's an indicator that that there is some insulin resistance in your body is not dealing with the glucose that well, and it starts converting it all into lipids. So at that point, I'll have them go get a fasted insulin test done, and most of the time when I see high triglycerides, fasting insulin is high too. So that's an indicator, even though A1C will be normal to me, that there is some insulin resistance going on that needs to be addressed. And I kind of did a rant about it this week, and I think it kind of threw some people off. There's a lot of people in the bodybuilding community that get a boner for Lantus, and I think I think a lot of guys are misusing Lantus. I think they're using it to mask insulin resistance. They're like, look, my fasting glucose levels came down, my A1C came down, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're throwing more insulin at problem. More insulin is going to make you more insulin resistant. You probably should be addressing, especially now with all the GLP-1s that we have available, probably should be addressing that high fasting insulin level through using something else, getting your insulin sensitivity improved before you're throwing insulin at it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there are guys that are doing the Retta and still taking like 3 to 5 units of Lantus, and their blood glucose sits at 68. I mean, just do whatever they need to do. I'm like, geez.
Yeah. I've seen some guys come in. I had a guy I did blood work this week, and he had a 4.5 A1C. So at a 4.5, you're going hypo regularly.
Mm-hmm.
My last was a 4.8. So I'm like, how close am I getting?
Yeah, my endocrinologist said she doesn't like to see people under 5. That's what she said. She said under 5 means there are periods of time where you're going hypo.
Maybe I can say that for diabetics.
Yeah, I don't know. But I have the problem, like
Yeah,
I have
you
to
got a weird
repair.
one.
Like some days it's weird. Like some weeks I'll need insulin, some weeks I don't. But I definitely have pretty much been able to mostly eliminate the basal insulin since I've started using a GLP-1. I really don't need it very, very much anymore at all.
Yeah, well, that's good. Did you change your Starbucks order?
Yeah, I don't get it anymore. Occasionally.
Ruins your whole walk. It's like, what?
How about the rest of your diet, Paul? Are you dialing that in? Is it going to help with the?
Fuck no.
Yeah. I'm
eating whatever.
I'm telling you, man, mix that yogurt in with those eggs. That stuff's delicious and creamy. You just cook them up, man. They're good to go.
No, I mean, most days I'm eating kind of like I've been prioritizing protein, but I've been terrible, man. I've been maybe eating 3 times a day. This has kind of been my diet lately. I'm like, what's the point in weighing and measuring out all this food when I can only go, when I'm using the bands in the gym, right? Just, I don't know.
Yeah, well, now that you can train again, though.
Yeah, no, I got some travel coming up the next couple of weeks, and then I'm planning on November. I'm going to do. I saw somebody ask a question about my plans to compete as a pro. I'm going to do a proper off season and contest prep. If I were going to start contest prep, would probably be March, April timeframe, and I'll just reassess where I'm at in March or April. I don't want to get up on stage and embarrass myself and get 15th place or something like that. So if I feel like could be competitive in my division, I have no illusions of competing in the Open. I'll be competing in the Masters division. But if I feel like I'm can be competitive in my division, then I'll consider doing a show. If not, it also depends on health too. Like there's like part of me too. It's like, do I really want to roll the dice with my health? I finally, like, my blood work is pretty much perfect right now. And it's the first time in years I can say that. Like everything is like right where it's supposed to be. My lipids are great. My A1C is great. Everything's great. My EGFR improved. Everything is perfect right now.
Seems like you do your best when your diet really is, though, like Mike says, like on point. Like your A1C got out of whack because of your dieting.
Oh yeah, I clearly. Well, I also convinced myself that I didn't need insulin.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I was saying, you seem like a goal-oriented person. So if you make the goal to get back on stage, then you would button up your diet and do all the stuff that you need to do. But like, right, I'm weird thing. It's like, you're not really controlling your diet. But you are doing your walks, and you're wearing sunscreen or a hat, and then everything looks better. But it's like, you want to be on the stage and try to win. What do you think?
I am all in or all out with stuff. I don't do shit 75%. So if I'm going to go back in, I'm going to be. I mean, I went years without, with weighing and measuring and accounting for every single meal I ate. So yeah, if I go back in, I'm going to go all in. I don't do things halfway.
Yeah. We full ass. We don't half ass.
We full ass. We don't half ass. But right now I'm kind of enjoying being a normal person. And I've really have been throwing myself in on my clients too. I've done, Jesus Christ, I probably have done close to 60 preps this year by the time I'm finished.
That's awesome.
So I've really been trying to improve my prep approach. And I also like just coaching regular guys that are trying to lose fat too. I have quite a few of those. I actually kind of find that more fulfilling. The guys that didn't think they could get in shape, when I get them in the best shape they've ever been in.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got for questions? Enough about me.
All right. Next, we've got this one from Jeff. Thoughts on SLUPP being dosed high, like 10 to 20 grams? Vigorous Seed seems to like it. Yeah, I'm guessing that should be milligrams. Because most people are micrograms.
Yeah, I heard Steve talking about up to like 500 milligrams. I think it was. I don't remember. I briefly. He was talking. Was it? Yeah, I was in a chat with him, and he was briefly talking about it. But if you extrapolate the rat study doses to humans, it's milligrams. It's not micrograms. But goddamn, man, like 500 micrograms makes me feel like a furnace.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine running it that high. I'm whatever you take. I'm sort of if you're a non-competitor, a proponent of the lowest effective dose. Just if 200 micrograms is working and you're losing weight, why would you take more?
Yeah.
We don't, and it may be perfectly safe. We don't fucking know, but there's really no long-term research data on any of this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, what gets me nervous is that people are still looking for that magic shortcut, like as if, taking
as if retatrutide doesn't exist.
Right. I mean, there's some pretty effective tools out there, but we're always still looking for the next thing that's like some magical answer. And I don't think going from micrograms to milligrams to a half a gram of, SLU is going to be the magic, but that's why people are trying it.
All we can tell you is that it's more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you crank up,
a lot of people seem to be, it seems the more I use the SLU PP with different clients that we want to try that, it's very person dependent. I'm starting to find that some people have a half a milligram, 500 micrograms does nothing. And then there's some people that 250 to 500 is almost too strong. And then some people can't handle even past 500. It's very big. I'm starting to know it's very person dependent for sure.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, you're right. It does seem to be incredibly variable from person to person. I've literally had people say they feel nothing when they're on it.
Yeah.
Although I think this is a thing that bros get confused about. Feeling something and it being effective are not necessarily directly correlated.
Yeah,
that and a lot of people aren't necessarily tuned in enough to know, like, hey, I've got it. We pay attention to our health enough where if we have an elevation in body temperature, we feel it, we know it. Like most people aren't that tuned in.
Well, I had a guy recently, talking about like he didn't feel anything on Masteron or Primobolan, but he does on Tren, and I'm like, yeah, those are called side effects, man.
True. I got
doesn't mean
a milligram on contest prep at SLU PP 332, and just like you said, Paul, that felt like a furnace. It was, 500's a really good dose if you want all of the 500 micrograms, a really good dose if you want all of the mitochondrial effects of the medication, and then the fat oxidation, your body's bias to burning fat for fuel. It seems to be super effective with that as well. So you can do that with a pretty low dose and stay on something that for maybe $80 a month that can help you maintain your body weight.
I will say this though, in regards to Steve, he seems to be way ahead of the curve on all this stuff out of anybody on social media. Usually when Steve says something, he's looked into it pretty deeply. I know he's well researched, and a lot of the shit that he's talked about like a couple of years ago, now everybody's doing. So, I wouldn't discount what he's saying. I just don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. But I always get skeptical when we have novel drugs.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. Like, if you're going to ask us a question, just ask us a question. We don't need to know that Steve loves it. Trust me, I watched Steve's show. I know what he likes. And it's like, yeah, the 20 grams might work. Might not.
Yeah, I get concerned about novel drugs and long-term health implications.
I generally wait about 3 years before I even consider doing these things, because just different stuff comes out all the time, and it's almost always non-pharmaceutical drugs that they've lost, and then occasionally a retatrutide will sneak in, and then I know you guys have tried the newer stuff, but I haven't tried any of those. But
these are peptides, though. I mean, these are groups of proteins at the end of the day, and how much harm can they actually do compared to things like stimulants? Or clenbuterol, the alternative.
Well, that's the argument that the most of these are. Although I don't think SLU is a peptide, is it? No, it's a SERM, right? I don't think it's a peptide. Methylene
blue, the one that cracks DNA for people.
Yeah, cracks DNA and maybe causes cancer. Right. It's a dye.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know enough to make an educated.
No, but for me, it's like if they cost more than just adding GH, just do the GH.
Well, one other thing I'll quickly add is when I first started using SLUPP, I started at what everyone talked about, the 250 micrograms, and I ran that for 2, maybe 3 weeks. And I always monitor my blood sugar anyways, and I didn't. But at that time, I really didn't notice any thermic effect, on such a low dose. But I did notice on a small dose with the same diet, my blood sugar doing better every single day. But nonetheless, it wasn't until I got to about 500 micrograms, maybe 750, till I started feeling a strong thermic effect. And then I built a tolerance, where some people don't build a tolerance. I built a tolerance pretty quick. So
yeah, SLU is not a peptide. It is a estrogen related receptor agonist.
It's not a CERN though either. So
no, it's not a CERN. So I was incorrect about that. But so all the science nerds out there, you hold your pants. I said something wrong. Oh my God! Talk about the science nerds and all the intellectual dick measuring. That was out of control last week.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it was.
fuck the details, and it's just boring to anyone that just doesn't work. Does it kill you? How bad is it? Fine.
There's an awful lot of PhD shaming going on last week on the
Well,
internet.
You heard that.
Not just PhD shaming, like everybody. It's like who's more right. And the thing that makes me laugh, I always laugh when it's all these guys talking about who's more right about lifting weights, and none of them look like they fucking lift weights. I'm like,
just go lift weights, guys. However you want to go lift weights, go lift weights.
This is why I'm a proud bro scientist. I'm probably wrong about half the shit I say, and I'm proud to be so. I don't care that much. I just it's just a wild world we live in where back in I'm gonna sound like the old man, but when I was younger, we wanted to know what all the big guys were doing. Like, what are they doing?
They're lifting heavy weights.
Heavy weights. They're eating food. They're taking gear. I don't know.
Back in your day, they were taking as much D balls they could find.
I just don't like all the negativity too. Like, I just if your ideas are great, they should stand on their own 2 feet. You don't need to be tearing everybody else down.
I just call it hormonal men stuff. Because you guys are, if you think about it.
Well,
this is what
there's something to be said for just the training intensity when you start comparing things like Mike Mincer to some of those more scientific methods that people are pushing now. And this is just the part of the debate that I see happening, and was even mentioned on the Olympia stage this week by Bob and others, is that some of the division amongst the bodybuilding cohort that this certain type of training or this certain type of scientific method is better than any others. And I think the history has proven that it's not necessarily, right. There's guys, you do what works for you. Training with ridiculous intensity is what helps you build muscle, then great.
What you enjoy doing the most is what you will do for your training.
Yep.
So figure that out.
And
I like to destroy myself and just break things. What do you guys
the irony out of all of this is, and it's been my experience, that the training is probably the least important part of the formula. The diet's the most important. I'd say PEDs are the second, and third is probably just train fucking hard. Find a way you like to train. I think there are ways to optimize it, but
how consistent can you be over a period of time?
Yeah, it's just consistency, doing it over a long period of time, and then also winning the genetic lottery. That's a big part of it too.
Picking the right parents.
Yeah, picking the right parents.
I picked the right dad. What did he do? I was like, play for Auburn, so I'll be okay.
It's one funny thing. Some of these science-based lifters, though, they do forget that a lot of these things are still person dependent, just like everything we've talked about. Whether it's the joy of the training method, or it just doesn't simply work for you, or you're a tall individual, so maybe this squat pattern doesn't work for you that they're preaching about is the best thing. It's sometimes you get to step back and really just start small and then make it more intricate. Nothing applies to everybody, and that's what I've come to
telling you.
Everything.
I'm blaming the mix of trend and autism for all this shit.
Well, most of the science guys are natty.
Yeah, that's the hilarious
They
part.
just want to put out one study and be like, this is the right way to do it, or they put out a bunch of studies like, this is the right way to do it. But it's,
I always laugh when I argue with some of these guys. They're like, "Well, you're on steroids," and I'm like, "Okay."
oh, what's the fairy analogy? It's like, yeah, you could sit by the river and meditate for 25 years, or pay $5 and cross the ferry and have the muscles you want.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. What do we got up next?
What do we have next? This one was from Ryan Parsons. How do you think Brandon Curry looked? I thought he looked great.
I thought
I
he
think
looked
he
great.
could
I
have
thought Justin did a
placed
really good
above
job
Nick.
with him.
Yeah, Justin peaked him very well, and he could have won an Olympia again in 2019 with the physique he brought. But man, everybody was just so good. And he placed well. I mean, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
He was 8th.
Yeah, I think he should have placed above Nick. I had him one place higher, but I wasn't there.
Well, they couldn't place Nick at 8th because of what Bob Ciccarelli said.
Yeah.
True. So true. All right. From said, we had, can too many veggies or too much fiber in a bulk prevent nutrient absorption, or is the concern just with appetite?
Appetite.
I mean, yeah, you can overdo it on fiber and it can cause digestive issues. Is it directly going to impact absorption? Not necessarily, but it could, and overbulking your intestines when you're trying to grow is probably counteractive to your goal more so than anything.
I'm for one a proponent of more Captain Crunch and less broccoli when you're bulking. That's my strategy.
I'm a Honey Smacks fan myself.
Yeah.
Honey Smacks.
Put something green on the plate, one meal a day. That's and that's generally enough to get you through. Don't fill your guts with a bunch of fiber and think you're going to be able to eat 900 grams carbs a day.
Yeah, or enough protein, or just I mean, if it would be an appetite issue if your goal is to grow, then if you're filling your plate with too much fiber, then you're not going to be meeting your goal, and it's not an absorption issue at that point. It's just a goal issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like the Hadza, right? I think it's the Hadza that consume like 100 grams of fiber a day because they eat this like super fiber dense root vegetable or root. Your body adapts to the diet that you have. But if your goal is to bulk or your goal is to grow, then overloading your diet with fiber is going to be counterintuitive.
Yeah, especially if you're not used to it. Like you just said, those people are probably adapted to that diet anyhow.
Okay. It's what they've been eating from birth. Yeah.
Right.
Totally different. Yeah.
Like
I'm a weirdo of a bodybuilder. I like vegetables, but I still just keep them at a minimum.
Yeah. I love vegetables.
I'll shift the balance more on contest prep. I'll eat more just to have some bulk and to fill me up. But I kind of have a shit appetite to begin with, man. I have to eat easy to digest stuff.
No Brussels sprouts?
Oh my God. Yeah. If
right.
I want anybody to want to share a room with me, I can't eat Brussels sprouts.
They're so good though.
I do love them.
Yeah.
They're good.
So added in that he's doing 100 grams of vegetables with 5 meals. I mean, that may be a little much. That's not tons of fiber, depending on the vegetable that you're choosing. It's probably more that you're eating a lot of kimchi and a lot of sauerkraut that's causing some digestive discomfort.
Yeah.
Those are very active foods. I almost think of those as they should be a small amount, like a few bites of kimchi or a couple of bites of sauerkraut once or twice a day, not with every meal and not like lots. Like to me, like lots of kimchi is a direct recipe for lots of digestive distress.
Yeah. Yeah. And this could be a good opportunity for you to look at what vegetables work with you. So if you do like vegetables, it might not be the 100 grams of vegetables, or maybe, it might be your food selection itself. It might just be, broccoli doesn't do well for me, but I like it. Like Paul taught me, we kind of went through a couple different vegetables when I was trying to improve my digestion. And I just didn't realize that onion that I ate all the time just seemed to be an issue for me. Not massively, but it was something I could take a mental note. And now I know better, so.
Yeah. Find what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had done a ton of
spinach,
that goes well with me. Or some, maybe zucchini is a little bit different than the broccoli itself, but sometimes food selection matters for me anyhow.
Has anybody had cucumber kimchi?
Oh yes, and I love it. Oh my gosh, I love all kimchi. Oh, it's so
So
good,
good.
especially like the spicy cucumber kimchi. Oh, so delicious. I love it.
Is
I had
that the
some
one
If
they
you eat too
put
much
the
of it.
red?
the other day. I was like, wow, this is good.
Is that the one they put like the red? It's got like a red powder when they do the. Is it kind of red? Pickles?
It has there's a lot of chili peppers in it, so it does have
okay.
a reddish hue. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I've
some
never
fire
tried
in
it. I
it.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's so good. Got to go to H Mart.
Fermented food should be part of everybody's diet, though, for sure.
Yeah, in the right quantity. Yes. Yeah. All right. From 64 Haps, what are your go-to sups for sleep? I wake up to urinate at least 3 to 4 times a night. Well, those are different issues. Where would you guys start with this one?
I mean, the urinating at night could be a multitude of things. It could be a prostate. I mean, it's an issue. That's usually my first suspect, but that you would have affected like if you're getting up and you feel like you have to pee, but the stream is not
Is the
great.
stream interrupted, or does it keep going, or do you have some afterwards that you can still squeeze out? That's likely your prostate. If you're waking up to urinate 3 or 4 times a night, how much salt are you getting with your last couple meals? That could help you. Why are you waking up to urinate? Millions of different reasons. Could just be drinking too much before you go to bed. Go-to supplements for sleep. GABA will put you out. Melatonin usually puts you out. You take a bunch of melatonin. GABA, be careful with. Maybe more than twice a week. Not a good idea. Magnesium usually helps a lot of people. Just take 400 milligrams of bisglycinate. And from there, it's kind of like there's a sleep hygiene guide that the Sleep blah, blah, blah Institute puts out every year. They'll tell you the basic things. Your bed is for sleep and sex and nothing else. And if you figure that out, you should be okay. But there's all kinds of stuff you could also have.
My bed is for dogs and video games.
Yeah.
Bed temperature, the room temperature, the lighting in the room. You got to address all that stuff.
Yeah, the sleep hygiene stuff. That's the main.
Yeah, your room should be super dark. Should be like a nice little cocoon that you fall into. And then, I actually, in order to shut my brain off, I sleep with my headphones in every night. I'm usually listening to some history, or there's actually some channels on YouTube that are meant to be something you can fall asleep to. So they use
fall asleep to history. I do that all the time.
Yeah, they're really mellow, monotone sort of speaking. There's no like random gunshots or expletives or anything. It's just all very mellow and
the sounds of the city.
You can sleep every night.
Yeah.
Paul and I are both history nerds, so until we get a chance.
Hang on, isn't every guy a history nerd? What is he? Dan Carlin. When we got his history of Rome, we've got YouTube stuff. What about you? What about Blue? Does Blue like history at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about history, dog. What you like?
Well, I like the Bill O'Reilly's killing books. I've been reading a ton of those. He kind of gets into like the the killing of JFK and General Patton, kind of some different figures from history. Those are kind of fun.
All right, so like American
World War II and Vietnam stuff seems to really interest me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly did a couple of books outside of the Killing series too that are really good, like one on the presidents, all the presidents, and a few other ones.
Yeah,
he co-authored those too.
Yeah, he did one on like Jesus, which was kind of cool. It was a little different. There's quite a few of them. I find them amusing. I like it. World War II, anything, I find it amusing.
I've been obsessed with Rome lately. That's been my thing.
Would you have been a gladiator, Paul?
Fuck no. I would have been
be a fat guy with gout just sitting around.
No, I would have been some dilettante in Rome. That would have been the guy commanding the armies, not doing the fighting.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got up next?
Next one is from Daniel. What do you guys think about ready-to-drink protein shakes like Fairlife or Lean Body protein shakes? Crap or good? I would say good only in an emergency situation.
Garbage.
Yeah, I've been using the Fairlives once in a while.
I pay $3 at the hospital for them. I get 2 or 3 a day if I need to. I'd rather eat food, but if you got a 12-hour, you're not. So I'm one of those people that gets just cramped on food. So I've got to get. So I tried beef jerky and I'll do shakes if I have to, but always the Fairlives. I don't like the other ones.
Yeah, a lot of them just use really cheap, shitty whey concentrate. So you got to look at what they are, and it's the issue you run into is a lot of people have digestive issues with whey concentrate. Like it's funny that some creative guy, probably Joe Weider, back in the late 70s, early 80s, I don't know when it was, realized that the crap that they threw away when they made cheese, which was whey, also had protein in it, and they started selling it. It was literally the trash that they were throwing away.
Yeah. I mean, you guys make your own yogurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, the RTD stuff in particular is always going to have like some just plain milk protein in it, which is not isolated at all. And they might add some whey or some casein or some other isolated proteins, but it's basically just milk protein, which is kind of the dirtiest protein that you can intake. So I'm in Amy's camp. Like you can do those every once in a while,
which
but
one's
that
the
shouldn't
dirtiest
be a
protein?
staple in your diet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, if you have those situations where you know you're going to be on the go, I mean, like keeping like baggies of protein powder with you, I mean, you can get water anywhere. So I'd rather have somebody do that because then you know the quality. They do make, I think it was Isopure used to do, like you could buy the clear isolate protein as a ready to drink. And there's some others that do like protein waters now because everybody on GLP-1s is obsessed with getting their protein in, but it's not the most satiating way to consume protein or food in general, but I mean, in a pinch, it's better than, you know, if I had somebody who was asking me, like, should I have this RTD lean shake or should I have this Burger King Happy Meal? I would say drink the RTD shake.
Please drink the shake. Yes.
Oh, I'm going with
Oh, yeah. Paul's like, no, the guy's in
no. McDoubles over Fairlife all day long. You're crazy.
Two double cheese in a Fairlife, like 95 protein, dog.
Why?
Sorry, Paul, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why would I have a Fairlife when I can have a double Whopper?
No. The double cheeses do taste better than the double Whoppers. You're not wrong. The bigger patties don't taste as good. It's weird.
That's
I always try to find the most isolated form of protein, like, and that's always going to be like a pure whey isolate. And you have to look at the labels, even on the powders, because you're going to have maybe a couple other different types of protein. And I always buy like an Isopure or something that's a pure whey isolate. You're kind of capped at 25 or 26 milligrams of protein per serving. So some of these ready to drink stuff gets up to 42 or 45 or something. But that's going to have a lot of other dirty proteins in it. So
I've been doing the
isolate.
Been doing the clear protein lately. Whey just does not agree with me. And God bless Dante Trudell for trying to help me out. He sent me a sample of like every fucking protein powder he makes a true protein. Just he's a good friend and just a great guy. And like just I try, man. Like whey does not agree with me anymore. But the clear whey seems to. If I get a hydrolyzed whey, although that stuff tastes like diesel fuel, that seems to sit okay with me. But the clear proteins, I've been doing those lately. Those seem to be okay. I have to be really careful with it, but I think you're always better off opting for real food if you're in a pinch. A lot of fast food restaurants, honestly, like Chick-fil-A, their grilled chicken sandwich.
Or the grilled chicken bites.
It's gotten real bad.
The grilled chicken tenders are delicious.
For grilled chicken, like other than Chick-fil-A, like there's very few restaurants that actually doing grilled chicken anymore. It's weird. Like
there's always a healthier option for sure.
Whatever, in your McDonald's, they've dropped them. So it's strange. It's strange. But yeah, Chick-fil-A is great.
I mean, there's a strong argument to getting a fast digesting protein in soon after you train. So I think that's where a lot of people go for the powder. But
I got nothing against Fairlife. It's just the extra, fats and carbs. It's like
I don't think you're better off getting real food. If you have to get a protein shake, go ahead and get a protein shake.
Yeah, no doubt they taste great. But if I had my choice, if I'm going for a shake, I'm just going to.
There's a reason why they call them meal replacements.
Yeah,
that's literally what it says on the label: meal replacement.
Just don't let it replace McDoubles.
Nope.
Oh, they do need a McDouble whey protein shake, don't they? Code Paul.
All right, we want to get one more in and then wrap this up.
Yes, and there were a bunch that we weren't able to get to, but I'm going to skip to this one because this one is a pretty meaningful one from Casey.
I can squeeze another one in if somebody's got a good one if we want.
This was really the most important one. Coming off cycle and only on HCG, HMG for baby making protocol, would a GLP-1 be okay to continue to offset some fat weight gain? Yes, there's no fertility concerns with being a GLP-1 for a man, as far as I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't know of anything.
Yep. Shouldn't have any issue at all.
It's only going to help your health markers.
Nothing that I'm aware of now.
Don't take
your
enough
weight
that's going to
stable.
give you side effects. So then you're not gonna feel like
Proviron
taking babies.
increases the glucose level of your semen, so that might be something good to take. But you're coming off, yeah. Add Proviron. Other than that, you're pretty good on those two. Steve has a big protocol up there, also pretty good too.
Yeah, and he usually preaches just with the fertility stuff, just less is better. You know, he tried to come off everything he could for his fertility program to make things as simple as possible. That's my thought.
Yeah, Chase has a good fertility protocol too. I think really good one. Yeah.
I'll repeat Chase.
All right, Paul. So if we ask one more question, do you want one that's going to make you rant or one that won't make you rant?
Can we
that's
do
up to
Randy?
you. I'll let you.
Can we do gadgets question? I think that's a pretty good one.
The one about Telmisartan.
Yeah.
Is it this one,
I
Dave?
think
Okay,
people-
well we'll let Dave pick. I was going to pick one to make you rant, but we'll let Dave pick one that
All right,
won't.
we'll do both. Fuck it.
Could Telmisartan introduction offset HCT increase from a moderate dose of EQ?
Oh, I was actually
Dave.
asking about the other one, the
Could.
Telmisartan for
Oh.
HCT reduction.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, sorry.
Any thoughts on the use of Telmisartan for HCT reduction?
Hematocrit.
Could.
Thanks. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, blocking angiotensin, I guess in theory could lower EPO, because isn't EPO produced in the kidneys, right? Yep.
Yeah, he goes.
I believe. Yep. I don't know how much of an effect it would have on it. There's, anecdotally speaking, I have seen guys that are on Telmisartan have lower, it seemed to be a mild reduction in hemoglobin and hematocrit.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
I wouldn't say it's anything dramatic.
I'm a big runner. Maybe a lot of people aren't in bodybuilding, but like I've never had problems with hematocrit or hemoglobin, and they're always. And I do take Telmisartan, but that's because I had high blood pressure.
Oh my gosh, there's Chase.
At the last minute.
Secret Irons cast. He's sideways too.
Persona non grata.
What's up, man?
That looks like a Las Vegas hotel room, buddy.
Yeah, dude. That's where I'm at. I was trying to turn my phone so it would, but I don't know why it's not flipping. But anyways, I forgot you guys were on right now. So the timing's all off out here.
And since you don't have a
Persona
channel, of your
non
own,
grata.
I know. What is this? What is this YouTube thing you guys are on? I don't understand.
Band Irons.
Yeah.
It's
Change
crazy.
your name to Band Irons.
I know, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
don't
As soon
want-
as I sat down on my flight to come out here, I saw the email that everything was deleted, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It's ridiculous.
I love the way they word the fucking email when they send it to you. I know this could be unsettling and upsetting.
I know. I was like, "Great." I had a 4-hour flight to sit here and think about this.
I'm like, great way to lead off this email, motherfuckers. Thank you.
I know. Yeah.
Now, Chase, did they delete everything or deactivate? Like, is yours the next step up? You get completely deleted? Like,
I mean, it's deactivated. Like, I have no access to anything, so like I can't get anything. I can't download anything. So it's basically it's gone. Like I can't do anything about it right now. So yeah. But
I will
yeah.
say.
Anyways, I wanted to hop in and share my Olympia experience.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So Samson was very small. It was ridiculous how much smaller and wiry he was looking as he was posing. And he just like kept getting smaller as the show went on. And it was super annoying that they didn't put Martin and Nick in the top 4, mostly because, well, Nick says he thinks they didn't put him in there because they would have moved Samson to like 6th or 7th because they would have beat him clearly because like he was just fading fast. It was insane. But yeah, it was I was really hoping Andrew was gonna win. He looked insane to me. I mean, we were in row K, so that's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 16 rows back. So it wasn't too far back. But I had a pretty clear view of everything. But I was hoping Andrew was going to win. I was hoping Derek was going to get like 3rd. Yeah, it was crazy though. Yeah, I got to spend some time with Nick though. He said his prejudging that they just overfilled and he couldn't like crunch his abs down the way that he wanted to. He couldn't blow all his air out the way he wanted to. And that really kind of screwed him for the entire show. Yeah. Which was a bummer because like I was really hoping he was going to do good.
He looked big as fuck. He just looked a little spilled over to me.
Yeah, no, yeah. He said they overate and yeah, he spilled over quite a bit. Plus he wasn't like crunching down his abs in his front double the first night, which was really odd because he's never like not done that. And I feel like that like really ties that whole look together for him. So, you know, after night one, I texted him and was like, I was just like, we're still here for you, buddy. Like, if you need anything, let me know. And he wrote me back. He was like, yeah, that was not how we wanted things to go. And then I was like, whose idea was it to not crunch down in the front double? Because I feel like that just like really like wins the shot for you, it just like ties it all together. And he was like, yeah, we're definitely going to do it for finals. And then we're going to focus on drying out. And so I was like, okay, that's smart. And, sure enough, he did for finals and it all.
We were talking about the crunching down versus trying to stretch out and do a vacuum earlier. It really depends on the person, but I found like guys with long torsos. I have a long torso. I look better crunched down. I think Nick has a really long torso. I think if you have long torso and short legs, you look better crunched down. If you have really good abs too.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. Like last night after finals, we came up here and I hadn't ate since before finals, so I was like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go downstairs and see what I can find. And I was, walking through one of the hallways here at Resorts World, and I was walking by this donut place, and Nick was in there with his mom, and they called me over. And so I was chatting to him about all of this in there. And one of the things that came up that was pretty funny was on stage, apparently Martin was like shit-talking Nick at prejudging, like, because they were next to each other.
I saw Martin yawn.
You could see him talking.
He like leaned over, and Nick said he leaned over and he goes, "I fucking hate you." and him and Antonio like looked over like, what? and he said he just like kept saying like that to him while they were up there. When his mouth was like kind of hidden, and when they went off to the side, he said that he kept like talking, and because it was funny, like I was sitting there, I was like watching, and Nick and Antonio were like talking back and forth, like, what was that all about, because like Nick hasn't said anything bad about Martin at all in like the whole year or whatever, so that was just pretty funny. But yeah, then we went to In-N-Out. We went to In-N-Out after that and got a bunch of burgers, and it was pretty funny, but I don't know, I'm pretty tired though. That was about 1 a.m. at that point. So
gosh, yeah, the show went so late.
Yeah, it was a late night. But
double doubles are really good after midnight.
That's what I got. Yeah, I got 2 double doubles. It was good.
Man, that was my one regret when being in LA last week, is I didn't get In-N-Out, man.
Yeah,
we don't have it on the East Coast, man.
Yeah.
We got Chick-fil-A though, so there you go. They don't have that out there.
Yeah, we do. We have Chick-fil-A here too.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
oh, damn.
we do. We have Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A in Medford, Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few up near us in Massachusetts. A few Chick-fil-A's. Never been though.
Chase, how was the expo for you guys this year? Was the booth?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, it was crazy. It was busy. Yeah, it was super busy. Lots of people talking about how much weight they've lost on Retta. Lots of weight lost. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean the booth was good. I mean, we had the tent set up and everybody was walking up wondering when Nick was going to be there. And it's like, he's not coming. He's not gonna come. Not, yeah. Actually, it's in his contract with all of his sponsors that he does not do booths during the Olympia. So
Yeah, I remember him telling me he hates that shit.
yeah. Yeah. No, it was actually pretty funny. Like when I saw him at the donut place, and then people started seeing him there, like eating. A line was about to start forming. And he was like, "We gotta get the hell out of here." And then it was like, "How do you hide this guy so we can get him, through the
Yeah,
hallways?"
he does not blend in a crowd.
No, not at all. He's so freaking big. Yeah, it's insane.
Well, you know
Yeah.
how annoying it gets sometimes with just the low level fame we have, Chase. I can't imagine at his level.
It's seriously, like, I was trying to go work out at the New Tech, like exhibit that they have at the Olympia, and on finals, or yesterday, and yeah, it took me an hour to get over there because I was like, I kept getting stopped. I was like, okay, it's awesome. I love it. I appreciate it, but it's like, I gotta go do this. And we had to break down the booth, which, that took a little bit of time, because when you ship stuff in, you have to break it down and get it prepared for them to ship it back out, to your hometown or whatever. So, but yeah, no, it was great. It was very busy. It's always a little bit busier every year, it seems. So,
Did you make it to any of the gyms, Chase?
No, I didn't at all. I only worked out here at Resorts World, and then at the New Tech gym in the expo. So yeah, it was pretty much like we'd be there from 8 to 4, and then we'd go eat, and then we'd go to the show, and then bed, wake up, do it again.
If you get a chance, that New Tech gym here in Henderson is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah, I saw that they just opened like a legit gym, which is pretty cool. So yeah, but yeah, no, we leave today, check out here in about 15 minutes. So
Oh, okay, right.
yeah, but it was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was asking Mike earlier, I'd get your opinion. Was the lighting any better this year, or did it still suck?
Like I was when I was watching the first guys come out, I was watching, after a few of them had come out, I was like, is something off? Is like everybody's tan off? Is it the lighting? And it took until Tonio came out, because he was in really good shape. I was like, okay, maybe they're all just a little bit off, but I think the lighting was bad too. Nick's tan was pretty terrible the first night.
Did he do it
like real
himself,
bad.
or did he have the people do it?
I didn't ask. I mean, I know he had I'm pretty sure he had the people do it. But not everybody had the same people do it. So
Yeah.
It was not good the first night, but yeah, I mean, after he was, he didn't seem too upset about the whole thing. I mean, it was his coach's, Kyle's first run at an Olympia prep. So, can't always expect things to go perfect, but he didn't seem too beat up about it, which was good.
I don't know. I think I know big guys like him have got to be really difficult to fill out, man, or just to peak, because there's so much room to fill out. But if you get too aggressive with it, then they fucking spill over, and the guys try to clean them up with diuretics, and then you end up both looking soft and flat, which is what happened to Big Ramy a couple of years ago.
Yeah. He said the second day they just ate proteins and fats all day, and went and did some cardio to sweat out, the extra water, and then drank more water, and he dried out pretty good. So yeah.
Also, he definitely looked a lot drier.
Oh, he looked 10 times better. Yeah. He was able to hit everything properly. It would have been good to see him, like that night one. I mean, he would have definitely gotten compared to at least Derek, because he didn't even get compared to Derek for prejudging, which was kind of sad. But oh well. There's always next year.
Yeah, he's young. He's got time.
Yeah.
And there is no quit in that guy, I'll tell you that.
Well, he was the one I was rooting for. I love the guy. He's got my favorite attitude out of all the top guys. You have to wonder. I don't want to start rumor mills, but I have to wonder if any of the Masteron and Primo shortage had an effect on some of these guys.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Possibility.
Possible. Yeah.
All right, I got to wrap this up, folks. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all of your support. We will see you soon. I don't know that I'll be on next weekend. I'm going to the Cowboys game in Dallas.
Right.
Oh,
Going down to Jerry World.
jealous.
That's cool.
Oh,
Are you gonna train there?
Yeah, I'd like to hit Destination Dallas while I'm there.
They hit a few
Absolute
good.
recomp too.
Yeah, absolute recomp. Yeah, maybe we'll see if I have time.
Do some training footage, man. It's been a long time since you've done that. I know nobody watches it, but I like that stuff.
Watch me using the pink bands and 25-pound dumbbells. That's
That stuff
inspiring.
would be helpful for a lot of people.
I'll fly down and put you through a bikini girl workout. It'll be perfect.
You probably are lifting more than me right now, Amy.
Make it fun, man. That's the only
Tighten up your glutes and back in.
I do need to work on my glutes, so yep, there is that. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, guys.